Hello there. Right, well, apparently you've caught me at a very interesting point here. I've decided, whilst I was just cleaning my mountain bike, getting it ready for the summer, that I quite fancy the idea of one of these e-bikes. Now this bike I've got, it's a JCB mountain bike. And I've had it for 19 years. 2001 I bought it. And this isn't pristine condition because it's not been used. It's pristine condition because I looked after it, because it was very expensive at the time. Probably one of the most expensive apart from the professional ones that you can get out there. So I looked after it, made sure it stayed in nice condition. And it's paid off doing so. Now, bringing it back to its perfect condition, I've decided to strip it completely and go through cleaning things like brake cables and stuff like this. Fine tuning everything, making sure everything is nice and back to what it was new first. Then I'm going to convert it into an e-bike. Why not? At the end of the day, it's as stripped as it's ever going to need to be stripped, so I can't be going any further than that. It's just a case then of putting the thing back together again with the right parts on there and working out what the right parts are. Now then, for all you out there that are novices and would like this sort of thing, but you know, wow, e-bike, pulling a bike to bits, not for me, too risky. Well, for me, the same. I've not done it before. I've never actually looked into e-bikes at all. I know nothing about them. Or I didn't a week ago, or a week and a half ago, until I decided that was it, I'm going to start learning. And I'm still in the process of learning. I'm still asking questions of people, trying to find out what I really need, what's going to be best, and not just buying a load of Chinese junk that I don't need, just to get rid of my money. I don't want to be doing that. So, I'm still learning, but I'm going to have a go. Like you should. If you really want one, have a go. There are, to what I've seen, quite straightforward. Just work out what you need, work out what you're going to get with your gear, because a lot of these Chinese companies, they'll tell you they're selling this, that and the other, and in the small print, they're selling you an empty bag. So make sure you're getting what you're really getting for your money. The setup that I'm looking at, what I'm learning about the most, which I think is going to best suit me, is a company called Bufang, Chinese company, but hey. Bufang, a lot of you that's familiar with e-bikes will know that name straight away, I'm sure. And it's a 1,000 watt mid-drive engine that I'm going for, or motor that I'm going for. Which means where the pedals were, the motor goes in there and sits there, and the pedal come on and place it. You get the cog, the motor, the cog, you'll get speed accelerator things, you get brake sensor things, you get your battery connections. The battery I'm going to get from another company separately, it seems, because this company is very expensive. Now, that is one other point to note with these. Your batteries are probably the most expensive item going. Well, the motor the most, but you expect the motor to be. But the batteries, colossally expensive. So, look around for them, shop around. When I get some best deals, I'll let you know what they are. And with most mountain bikes, you'll get your gear cluster at the back and a cluster of gears on the, or cluster of cogs on the pedals. You won't get that. Once you put a motor on, then 3 cogs, or 2 cogs, whatever you got, you lose that. You just get a single drive, but you'll still get your gear change at the back wheel. When you've got it in here and you're on a single speed and then you change to the other speeds, you're going to get a lot more power than the engine can give you, because you're adding gear ratio to motor, so it gives you even more. But hey, with 1,000 watt, I think I'm going to go up the side of an house anyway, so I don't need any more. But that's the aim, that's what I'm aiming at. So, well, as you can see, lots to do, so I'll crack on here while I'm waiting for the gear to arrive to start converting that, and then we'll come back and start videoing. So, look at this, it's starting to look like a bike shop in here now, isn't it? Anyway, it's a bike repair centre. Okay, right, good news. The Bufang conversion kit has arrived. The battery's coming from a separate place, but that'll be here within a few days. So I just want to open this up and show you what I get. As I say, it's a 1,000 watt motor. That nice, David. And pretty quick delivery and all. In less than 2 weeks since I ordered it. Okay, so I'm running closer so you can see. Will do, don't crowd me. Okay, right, well, first off, and obviously the most important part, the motor. I got that heavy. There you are. Yes, that's heavy. That's heavier than the bike. Right, anyway, there we have it. 45 volt, 30 amps, 1000 watts. Next we get a couple of new pedal arms, which I bought some new pedals to go with them as well. That's nice. Sensor cables, speed sensor cables. Now, when you buy this, you get the option. As standard, it comes with levers, brake levers with sensors built into them, and you put your brake cables into them levers. Mine has got all the gear shifts in them, so I didn't want to do that. So I asked them to swap them for the sensors. But you've got to ask on order, at the point of order. The Petal Cog. Now these come in all different sizes, and it recommended a 48 tooth cog for this size of bike. But when I counted mine, it had 42. And as it's an 8-speed bike, or will be, from 24, as an 8-speed bike I wanted to maintain as much torque as I could. And that should be the same, and it is exactly the same size. That is perfect. Next we have your display. Now again, there is options. When you buy this, we can go from a very basic cheap one to a very expensive one. I got the very expensive one because it looks flashy and I like it. USB connector, I didn't know it had that there. Yeah, charging port. Get one on the battery and all. But charging port underneath it. It says Bafang on it. Open and put it over your bars. And it's got a nice display. It's got a big circle disc which tells you as it's going round the speed, and then the big numbers in the centre with the speed. So it looked good. And then you've got the controls at the side here for the on, off, the lock, and the information, and all kinds of other stuff. So it's nice, I like it. They're just gaskets to go around and bits and bats to go with it. Then we've got, these are the attachment things for the motor to fasten it to the bike itself. So that's part of that. Then we've got, this looks like your speed sensor. Yeah, that's the magnet and sensor pin. Yes. So, yeah, it's just all these go back to the dubbings. How, I don't know. All a learning curve. I will know by the time I'm finished. Believe me, I'll have to. And what else have we got in here? Don't know. Extensions from this. Is it to the motor or something? To the battery rather? Possibly. Possibly these are the extension power cables. So you can reach to the battery wherever your battery is. And this is the throttle. It goes around that way you press down. I'll have to try all this and see how it feels from it. But these are my original handlebars. There was steel, polished, 20-year-old gone really pitty, rusty. Even though I tried to preserve them, they've still got quite badly pitted. And I was looking in the market for buying another pair, another one, 30 odd quid for replacement, but I couldn't get the shape as good as this is, and the size and everything, just not matching perfect. So in the end I decided, why not just clean it up and spray it? After all, black looks better than the steel, and it looks a lot nicer. So, there you are, that's a lesson. Right, this would go on there. And I would then have this there as well. And I would have the grip. So it could be quite a stretch to get to it all. Definitely something to look into. This is one good thing about doing a bike yourself. You get to decide how things, to a degree, how things go. And I'm in no rush, no panic, no stress about getting this done quick. That is it. Now this didn't come with a shift sensor. A shift sensor is what goes on the gear cables that you've got left, because you've only got the back gear selector left. It goes in line with that, so that when you're changing gear, it cuts the motor. So they don't come with it, so they don't seem to think it's a necessity. The brake sensors do the same thing. So I suppose unless you're mad fast changing gears, which I won't be doing, then it is a must. For me, it's not. But I still might want to get one anyway, because it's something you can have, it's an extra safety feature, why not? They're about 25 quid, something like that. You can get it from the same place. Right, well that is what you get. This is, because I've gone for the extras, the biggers and stuff, I paid £570 some for this here. But I got the battery for under 250 quid. So I'm laughing all the way to the bank on that, because the battery, I was expecting to pay 400 quid for it. Because the type I wanted. Now here's an idea. Trying to protect things, hang things and store things when you're doing projects like this is difficult, because you need a workshop, you need the space, you need them out of the way. We're not a bike shop. So I went and made these. Scrap bits of wood. I say scrap, I was laminating a floor and I had leftover bits of laminate. So I just roughly guess what I need, and that goes over the joists in the outbuilding, so I can hang it out there, and it takes 2 wheels. And it'll hang on anything. Just hang it on there. First wheel on the bottom. The second wheel on, and it's up out of the way. You can work on it, it's safe, it can't go nowhere, and the bike the same. I just made these 2 C-shaped things. You say so? Yeah, good. Again, just out of laminate flooring. And it can hook on anything. I could have been a lot more precise, but why? Wouldn't need to. Very strong. You take your own weight, and you don't have to buy fancy bike hangers while you're working on it, because that's solid, that's going nowhere. I can work on that bike now. So there's an idea for you, should you want to do it. Alright, let me get on with this.
Thank you for listening to C, F, M, goodbye.
Couple of chords.